Everyone, here we go. One of these weeks I'm gonna get that right. And hello and welcome to the Ravori Sports podcast for fans like me. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. So definitely check us out this week, especially Sunday. We got our Maryland Terps football preview show on Sunday. So definitely we're gonna check that out. Definitely should finish eating before you're on camera. So definitely Maryland football preview. We're going to go ahead and have that Sunday. NFL preseason predictions video. We're absolutely going to go ahead and do that next week as well. So the next 2 Sundays, you're going to see the Maryland football preview. You're going to see the NFL preseason predictions video as well. Genesis Notary Services. If you're in Winchester, you know. Absolutely. Thank you very much. The business has been going great. I mean, as far as more people calling, asking for notary services as well. So definitely, just like real estate is going on right now, still contrary to popular belief in some days. So definitely going on as well. We're going to have our Genesis Notary Services live stream on Memorial Day. Not Memorial Day, Labor Day. So Genesis Notary Services live stream is going to be on Labor Day. We're going to go ahead and check that out as well. Talking a little notary with you on there. We do this. This is like our 3rd one we've done on Labor Day. So absolutely check that out as well. Also, ravorisports.company.site. Also, see Charles Harris. We are Legal Shield. So definitely, Legal Shield is great value for your business. If you are looking for your business to go ahead, get legal protections. If you are a young couple, especially you young married couples out there, or even you older ones. If you're older ones and you want to go ahead and protect your identity, protect everything that's going on, definitely go ahead, get a will done, get everything taken care of. If you are young, definitely you want to get a will done. You want to have that security of knowing, and you get great value with Legal Shield. So definitely check that out. You want to head and do that. It's gone. Now we're ready. I'm sorry about that. I had that little bite of that bigger slice of that pizza than I had on camera. Okay, here we go. So we got the football season about to start, and who are going to be the final 53 guys for the Ravens. The roster is coming out here pretty soon, and so we do this. We're going to predict who's going to be on the 53-man roster. So there's 90 guys in training camps. There's one international exception as far as the roster goes. Who is going to be on that first 53-man roster? The active roster when the Ravens take the field in Buffalo against the Bills on the opening of Sunday Night Football. So after Carrie Underwood sings, after the game, when the game actually kicks off, who's going to be there? Tough decisions on defense, I got to tell you. Offense, I think we know a lot of the names, but on defense, it's tough. Some injuries are going to determine some things. There are also to be some guys that won't be there. Like Adiz Isaac is a great example of a guy. He's just going to be on injury list for a while. He's not going to, you're not going to have Adiz Isaac for a while. So there are some guys that'll be on the roster at some point this season, but they won't make the first 53 on IL. We'll go ahead and discuss a lot of that. All right, so quarterback, obviously you start fearless leader, Lamar Jackson, starting quarterback, did have a bit of a scare today with his foot. Everybody says it's fine. They probably just took him out for precautionary reasons. He looks good during preseason. He should be ready to go when the season starts. Cooper Rush today. Definitely, that's the second quarterback that got him in free agency in the offseason. That's it. I don't think they take 3 quarterbacks. Devin Leary, he doesn't even look good enough to be on the practice squad as far as I'm concerned. He has not played well. I think I would definitely suggest looking at the waiver wire, looking at some of these vets, see who's available for somebody to even put on the practice squad as well. They're going to carry 2 quarterbacks. I'm sure of it as well. It could be that I'm thinking it might be Devin Leary, but I wouldn't carry him. But this is not what I would do. This is Devin Leary, probably on the practice squad. Running backs, 4. I kind of thought Harbaugh was bluffing with carrying 4. What I meant, I think with Keaton Mitchell's injury, it was possible that he was going to go on IL. Keaton Mitchell was back at practice, out there practicing. So I think they're going to carry 4. Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, Rasheen Ali, Pat Ricard. Justice Hill is definitely going to be your second running back. No question about it. I think everything I've seen here, it's going to be Justice Hill is going to do that. Rasheen Ali is going to get some time, at least on special teams. I think that's probably why they're pushing so hard for him to be there. Keaton Mitchell, I think, will definitely get some time with his explosive ability and Ricard. I don't know how many you can play during the course of a game. There's no way, that's a lot, especially when you got Derrick Henry carrying so much luggage. But not a problem having too many good running backs. Wide receiver, yes, this is pretty simple. Zay Flowers, Rashard Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Tylan Wallace, Devontae Walker, and LeJohntay Wester. No question about it. The biggest question was LeJohntay Wester being a late draft pick going to be what they had hoped for in the punt return and all that? He's been more than they hoped for. He's got some work to do still as a receiver, but he's been excellent in the punt return. I don't think after a while they're going to kick to him. He's looked great on the punt return as well. Absolutely major team. He's looked good at wide receiver at times too. I think he's had some rougher days as a wideout, but he's looked good as a wide receiver at times. So I can't really argue that. Zay Flowers, your number 1 receiver. Bateman, your number 2. Hopkins has missed some time in camp. Tylan Wallace is for sure on special teams or whatever. So this is no question about it. Keith Kirkwood has kind of, I think, been 7th. But yeah, these are your guys here in the lineup. Tight end 2. I only think it's 2. I think it's Mark Andrews and Kolar. I'm a believe, and I know some people may disagree. I think they're going to put Isaiah Likely on IR when the season starts. I do not think he's going to be ready for week 1. He hasn't practiced at all. They even though John Harbaugh was kind of being coy, we might. I don't believe that. Also, too, I think roster-wise, you do have Pat Ricard on your football team, so you can kind of play him as the 3rd tight end, etc. You need a guy in there as well to kind of pick up that slack. They are carrying another. So I think I don't think Likely is going to be on the 53. I only think it's 2, Andrews and Charlie Kolar. Offensive line is probably our biggest concern all camp that I've seen. I mean, they just haven't, to me, played well at all. Now we haven't seen Linderbaum and Stanley obviously in the game. That's going to matter a lot when the bell rings. So have those guys play. They have gotten through camp healthy so far. So that's always good. Voorhees is clearly going to be the left guard. I don't think Voorhees has ever been that bad. I think Voorhees as well kind of struggled a little bit last year. He's good in camp, I think, here. So there's no question about it. Falele, I don't know what to say about Falele. I think I would say this. It is fair to say that Ben Cleveland wasn't good at right guard either in the last preseason game. So those of that are saying that's right. But Falele's your guy. That's it. So it is. Rosengarten, a little bit of a mixed bag, even himself in preseason. And I think not too worried about Rosengarten as well. Those are your starters. Note Boom is going to take the place of Pat McCary. Is going to be your 6th offensive lineman. I think he's going to play at multiple positions. You already saw it in the Dallas game. He's at left tackle. He's at right tackle. So he's going to be in multiple positions. Ben Cleveland, I think for sure, makes the team as a backup. Harbaugh does not like him. That's clear to me. He didn't play well last week at right guard. I've kind of seen that. When he does struggle, I think a little bit on the right side. I think he's better on the left side as well. So I think that is correct. He's your most experienced guard, so I do think he makes a team. Shout out to Corey Bullock. I think starting at center in the game against Dallas, that's a huge tell. The free agent, I think he definitely makes the team. Beat out Nick Samak. Samak played much later. Bullock actually is not look bad. I do think you talk about seeing Ben Cleveland. Let's see what Corey Bullock possibly guard as well. But he's looked good at center. Carson Vincent project probably not going to play this year. You're going to see him deactivated a lot. I think they already know. I think he's about a year or so away. He said he's carrying 9. I kind of thought that anyway, though. I didn't think they'd carry 10. I thought they would pretty much carry 9 offensive linemen. Defensive line, Justin Matabuke, Travis Jones, Broderick Washington, Brent Urban, John Jenkins, and Aeneas Peebles. Let it begin. Matabuke, we know. I think he's an all-pro. He's going to definitely be there. Travis Jones is definitely going to be your starting nose tackle. Broderick Washington will probably start at tackle. I think we're going to see that. I think that's probably right. Interesting here. Brent Urban, so many times with Brent Urban, what they like to do is they go ahead and release him and then they sign him. They kind of used to do this with a couple of guys like Anthony Levine, and they go ahead and they sign him and they sign him back. So I think that's a possibility that he's not on the 50. I do think he's going to be on the 50. I do think they brought him out of retirement. They're going to bring him in. I think they're going to carry him on the 53 at the start. CJ Okoye is making this John Jenkins thing interesting. I do think it's Jenkins. I think Okoye. I think they're going to keep him on the practice squad as well. They're going to definitely try and do that. But Jenkins has been okay. I mean, I think, but Okoye, I think, is giving him some pause and making this interesting as well. Peebles has looked really good, so I definitely think he's on there as well. I do think Okoye factors in it. It's possible that they don't do that. I think this is pretty close. It is possible that you could keep him and not Brent Urban, or him and not John Jenkins as well. I think Urban, for sure, he's going to be on the roster at some point if he's not on the first 53. But I do think this is how it'll look when you come out of camp, the first, when they come out of preseason. Linebacker, Dafiowe, Roquan Smith, Trent Simpson, Kyle Van Noy, Mike Green, Jake Hummel, Teddy Buchanan, Jay Higgins, Tavius Robinson. I think the starters, we know 3 of the 4, Owe, Smith, and Van Noy, they've been good in camp. Always had a bit of a quiet camp, but he was like 10 sacks last year, so I don't think there's an issue. Some people have been on Trent Simpson a little bit. I think that's going to continue into the season, but he's definitely going to start for him. I think out the gate, he's been running with the first team. I do think it'll be Simpson. Mike Green has looked fantastic, as we know. No question about how his ability. I think this is one of the steals of the draft, Mike Green. So outstanding, the future of your pass rush. Jake Hummel, I think he's going to play special teams. Buchanan, I'm really debating whether he's been better than Jay Higgins. I think Jay Higgins absolutely makes his team. He's had interceptions in each of the games. He's been standing out in practice. If it was a kind of a case, why didn't we draft Higgins instead of Buchanan? So one of the reasons why now I think maybe you get both, because I do think both are going to be on the 53. I don't think you could keep Jay Higgins if you put him on practice squad. I don't think you could keep him if you put him on practice squad. I do think there's a good chance that somebody else may take him to be interested in him. Tavius Robinson fills out the other spot, working with Jared Johnson the other day. He apparently is a big admirer of Jared Johnson, so wearing that 95. So they brought him in. Tavius Robinson definitely filled out his role last year as well. No David Ajabo. I don't know if I don't think he makes it. David Ajabo has not really looked great in camp. I do think with the Adisa Isaac injury, some people believe I think it's an opening for him, but I don't think I'm not sure he's still even in that situation played well enough. I think that leaves a sliver of hope if they do want to carry 5 edge rushers, because historically they have. But I don't know. I don't think he's done enough. If they do carry 5, it is possible they could bring somebody in. I don't think Ajabo makes it out of camp. Cornerback, I think 5. Jair Alexander, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Chidi Awuzie, TJ Tampa. They've all been really good. They can't. Jair Alexander, you could argue he's been the star at camp. He's with some of his injuries. Nate Wiggins has been really good. Marlon Humphrey has been solid as well. Awuzie, probably the quietest of the group, but I think he's also been really good. TJ Tampa, 2 interceptions today. Maybe the best cornerback group in the league as well here. Couple more. Safeties. 6. Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton. Look, you lose a Darius Washington, and the Ravens, for a value proposition, drafted the best safety in the draft, and they may and that may have helped them have one of the better defenses in the league. Malachi Starks is going to be their starting free safety. He's looked terrific. I think everybody's talking about Green. Malachi Starks has looked terrific. Kyle Hamilton, maybe he's the best safety in the entire NFL. Behind him, I think Jalen Armour-Davis is going to get some time at safety. He's had a quiet camp. He hasn't been feeling great, so he's missed some time on the field. Sanusi Kane, Bo Braid. I do think Bo Braid slipped on the depth chart, maybe behind Ruben Lowry, but I think Braid is there. Braid, I think, has been good in camp. I think his game is a little quieter in general. And what I mean is he makes a lot of really good tackles, but not always a lot of splash plays. And Ruben Lowry, I don't think there's any doubt about it. Undrafted free agent, I think they take another one here. Lowry has had interceptions as well. Keon Martin, I think, is close here. I think it's a bit of a discussion. He was playing pretty early in that game as well. I don't think they move out any of these guys for Keon Martin. I do think they are going to keep him on practice squad, whatever, unless there's an injury of some kind that we don't know about, and as well. Last we know, Tyler Loop definitely is going to be your kicker. Jordan Stout and Nick Moore. Loop, I think, has looked good in camp. I think they had some trepidation about it. Obviously, he's a rookie, but Tyler Loop's look good. I don't think there's anything worried about there. And Jordan Stout, Nick Moore, as veterans, they're going to be on the roster. We know. There you go. The final 53 predictions for the Ravens as well. Ajabo, I don't think makes the team. I'd be surprised if we have David Ajabo on the final 53. Possibly they could keep him on practice squad, but I think somebody else might take it up as well. Interesting also to see what happened with what they do with Brent Urban. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there at some point. I'm not sure he's going to make the 53. Sometimes they'll take it off. Okoye has really pushed the issue. Some guys are pushing it. So even with this really good defense, they have guys that are really pushing the mark. So this might be the best defense in the league, the way some of these guys are looking, some of these young guys. So some of these decisions, even though some guys may wind up on the outside for sure, they're very tough decisions, and they're going to be good, I think, regardless of who they select. So that's always what you want. You want guys, too many guys that you like. That's always a good thing when you have the final 53. We got one more game with the Commanders on this weekend. So a short trip, obviously. Commanders are going to go ahead and play the Ravens as well. So we're going to get to see a lot of the Ravens backups, even less in this game, where you're going to see a lot of players that would play during the season. You should you haven't been seeing Lamar Roquan, but I think even more guys that are going to start, you'll probably see them less. So you'll definitely see guys, a lot of the guys for sure not make the roster, into the roster, like 78 guys. They'll be playing more practice squad guys. They'll be playing most of the way in this one. I think that's what you're going to see a lot of. in this last game against the Commanders on Saturday. So definitely check that out. All right, cornerbacks. This is going to surprise some people. So I'm ready for some pushback here. That's all right. So the top 10 quarterbacks were almost done here as we march to the season. Next week, we're going to do safety. And then right before the season, we're going to do the coaches in the NFL. So who are the best coaches in the league? Who are the best cornerbacks? The cornerbacks. But this is, I think the position, probably has evolved. For the longest time, I looked at these guys. Okay, who is the Deion Sanders? Who's the guy? Get the body in the wide receiver, stay with the receiver. The best is the number one guy, I think, like that. So much zone coverage, so I kind of factored that in a little bit more this year, especially at the top. But it's the main job of a corner is to stop guys from catching the football. Who's doing that the best for the most part? Who's the guy that's stopping guys from catching the football on the other side? So let's go ahead and get that squared away. Christian Gonzalez, I think, is probably one of the most slept-on players in the NFL. He's had some injuries, so I do think that factors in his case why he doesn't get the notoriety that some other players get. But when he has been on the field, he has been really good. So definitely missed some camp already. So I think that's given him. I think that's given some pause last year. But last year he was really good. 2 INTs, really long physical, like them in college. He was a guy who does a lot of things well. Definitely a good cover guy, but definitely in that Mike Vrabel system, I think it's perfect. He's perfect fit. A lot of that guys. A lot of these Patriot guys are going to fit with Mike Vrabel. Obviously, Mike Vrabel was a Patriot. A lot of it is the Belichick way. And so he is going to fit as well. So I think Gonzalez, I think we've only seen the scratch the surface. Their defense is really being slept on. I really like New England, the defensively this year. Marlon Humphrey. People keep calling him just a nickel corner because I don't think there's any question about it. You put him in the slot, he's the best nickel corner, I think, in the entire league. So Marlon's going to have in his age 29 season. He had 6 INTs last year. The sky is the limit for Marlon because he is going to take the ball in a different direction as well. He's not as good on the outside as he once was, so I think that's a factor. But if you put him in the slot, and I think that was definitely when you signed Jarek Alexander and Nate Wiggins, that's definitely the go because he is going to be fierce in there as well. Definitely a read and react guy too. Does a lot of things well. Hits really well for safety as well. Gonzalez and him both really. They're not just guys that just get, you could just run over either in the run game and everything like that. Hits really well for safety. Marlon, I think, has been a top 10 for a while when he's been healthy. Been battling some issues, but when he's been healthy, he was healthy last year, healthy in camp. Number 9, Christian Benford from the Bills. The Bills used to have a really, really good secondary across the board. They still have, I think, an elite corner, Christian Benford as well. So he was a really good last year for them. He had 2 interceptions, 64 tackles, 14 assisted tackles. Teams tend to stay away from him. He is from Baltimore, right? Even though he's playing for the Bills. 3rd season, he's going to make a lot of money pretty soon. Definitely, he's a guy. To me, he's a cover guy. He's definitely the guy that you could put on and take a guy out of the game. So he's going to be on Zay Flowers. He's going to be on Jamar Chase and these elite receivers, whatever. He's a guy who can handle his own physically, like his physicality too. Again, seeing guys, not just guys who can run, but good physicality. Benford, I think, number 8 for the Bills. Some people don't like Ward at times. I think because he is tend to freestyle a little bit. I think that's the only thing with Ward as well. Denzel Ward. So he does have an injury right now. So he is a bit day to day. You never know at camp though with some of these injuries, right? You see with day to day. But he's a guy I really like. I think like he's a guy for sure that can take the ball into the other direction. Not just you want to be an elite corner, not just guys who can be the Ike tail and knock the ball down and just run out of bounds, but somebody who can actually take the ball the other way and actually do some damage. So teams actually do stay away from Ward. He's a bit erratic at times. That's why he's not a little bit higher. But Ward, I think, definitely is the ball hawk definitely of this group. Definitely a guy. You lift the ball in this area, Denzel Ward, you better be careful because he's going to go ahead and take it the next way. So Denzel Ward at 7. Here's another guy that, man, like you wonder, I think probably the team he's on is the reason why he's not talked about more. But you talk about man-to-man coverage, this is the guy, Derek Stingley Jr. So he's a guy that's definitely covered. He gets 5 interceptions last season. He's definitely a guy that can cover. Don't get me wrong. He can tackle. He can do some other things, but the outside coverage. He's the guy who can take these elite receivers and just go ahead and bottle them up, just like Benford and some other guys on this list. But he's the guy that can actually do that. When you have a guy like this, you could go ahead and do some different things. Their pass rush is really good in Houston, but you can. It's so important when we talk about pass rush to have a corner, right, who can cover, to do all those blitzes and things like that. You can take a few more chances when you have a Stingley there with great hands who can cover. Rarely fooled, too. Great football instincts. Stingley, number 6. I still have Jalen Ramsey in the top 5. I think like people have kind of forgotten about him because he's gotten older. The Dolphins weren't very good. This is still your guy. Ramsey is a guy who absolutely is the best trash talking safety, trash talking corner in the league. No question about it. He hits hard, hits well, and he covers. He as much as any player embraces the island as much as anything like that. He embraces being there by himself. He wants to follow the number 1 receiver. He can cover the number 1 receiver as well. I think his coverage is still really good. Battling some injuries and older, so I got to factor that in. But I believe Ramsey is still really, really good. So I have him at number 5. Now, with the Squealers, should be easier on them, too, in Pittsburgh. They play a lot more zone as well. So he won't have to, he doesn't have to do as much man-to-man in Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin's defense as well. Jalen Johnson for the Bears. We know how good he has been in recent years. Not quite as good last year. I think some people might say, not quite as good. I think, frankly, teams just know not to throw at him. I think, as well, he had 2 picks last year compared 4 the previous year. So I think that's something. I think that's some of it with him. But I really like him. Definitely got some strength to him. These guys, one thing nowadays, receivers all used to be like the elite was big, strong, these physical guys. Now you got these jackrabbits you got to get. So these big corners got to knock guys off routes as well. And I think Jalen Johnson absolutely can do that. Got a lot of dog in him, a lot of fight. Go to the Bears defense. I think this is one of the highlights of the defense. I have Jalen Johnson at 4. Hot sauce Gardner. Very unique player. The length is like Plastic Man, like you've never seen it. Long arms, long hand, long physique as well. He just is so hard to get around if you're a corner. That's what makes him so unique. Banged up, had some injuries last year. So I think like some people have him like he didn't think he played as well as he could have. Maybe there was a little bit overhype as well. I don't know. I had him a little bit higher last year, but let's not kid ourselves though. This guy, Sauce Gardner, is outstanding as well. His hands, I think his second half too, really cemented it for me. I think like maybe a bit of a slow start, but I thought he was really good in the second half. Sauce Gardner is outstanding. I have him at number 3. Patrick Surtain at number 2 from Denver. I think this is probably one of the best defensive players in the NFL, without the question. If you're talking about just the Deion Sanders man-on-man coverage, the best in the league. The best in the league. If you have receivers, it doesn't matter who it is. Pat Surtain can lock him up. The best outside man-on-man coverage corner in the league, I think Pat Surtain is, without the question. Why isn't he number 1? Like, if you think that. I think Trent McDuffie is sensational. Talk about everything he does. I've never seen McDuffie really get beat. I've never seen McDuffie really like this. I've never seen McDuffie, and he does so many things on the field. That's why I like him better than Surtain. That's why I would take him before I take Surtain. Because McDuffie, even they put him on an island a lot. They blitz a lot and everything in KC. But this guy defensively, not only is he an outstanding cover guy, I think he's really right there, top 3 in the league as far as coverage. But, man, he can play safety. He can play at the line. He can do everything. So definitely a complete corner, rather. Trent McDuffie, number 1. Idiot if it. So there you go. Trent McDuffie gets the number 1 spot there as well. Now, I know somebody's going to say Surtain, disagree. That's why we have these lists. But I love him. I think he's fantastic. I think he's the best corner, I think, in the entire NFL. There you go. Top 10 NFL. This is definitely going to be on Twitter tomorrow and all of our social media platforms. So definitely check that out as well as we march on towards the season. NBA. Some of y'all NBA fans are mad because the schedule was released this year. Not as big a fanfare as like the NFL. I did want to kind of go over it a little bit because the networks have changed, right? So for 40 years, the NBA on TNT was going on. I remember watching the NBA on Turner with the kid, with my dad. My dad used to invite my uncles and other friends over, and they would smoke marijuana and watch basketball and all that other fun stuff. But now, obviously, this is not the 80s. This is 2025, and we have changes as well. So I want to go over some of that stuff because I think we're going to start up here, and I think there's going to be some confusion in that as well. So the opening night, I think you're going to have you have opening night, you have the Rockets playing the Thunder. Usually you start out with the team that won the championship as well. So that's not unusual. You're going to have the Rockets and the Thunder. This game is going to be on NBC, right? So it was on Turner a long time. NBC is going to take the majority of the Turner. We'll go over the schedule as well. But the Warriors and the Lakers also too, they're going to be playing in the first night as well. That's the second game on the streaming Peacock. Some of the games, I know, some of the games are going to be on Peacock. Some of the games are going to be NBC. NBC is going to have a lot of games this year as well. Christmas Day, it's not just the NFL. Cavs and the Knicks. I think the best game of the day is going to be the Spurs and the Thunder. I think the Spurs are going to be really good this year. My Lakers and the Rockets as well. That's going to be at 8 o'clock as well. 5 o'clock, the early game. The Warriors and the Mavericks as well. So Cooper Flagg, the number 1 draft pick, you're going to see him there on Christmas, along with the T-Wolves, Anthony Edwards, along with the Nuggets and the Joker. So it's a help sort of to play as well. So those are the big ones early, what you're going to see. ESPN that's pretty much not going to change the Christmas Day schedule. So that's pretty much going to be the same. What's going to be different? ESPN, for a large part, is not going to change much. You're going to have, if you've been watching games, they pretty much have games on Wednesday nights during the regular season, especially in the second half of the season. You're going to have games. They're going to have games on Friday night, some Friday night doubleheaders. That's not, again, the same usually in January after the NFL. And ABC is going to continue to have their Saturday night primetime games and the Sunday showcase. if you think back as an NBA fan years ago, they used to have the double headers on Sunday. So now they figured out, okay, well, let's have a game on Saturday night. Let's have a game on Sunday. That's essentially what that is there as well. Also, too, on October 27th, Peacock NBA Monday, coast to coast. They're going to have Sunday night basketball as well this year. NBA All-Star Weekend, and they'll stream over 30 playoff games, including the Western Conference Finals. So NBA coast to coast. So that just basically means they're going to have 2 games on Monday. One's going to be at 8. One's going to be at 11. Once football season is over, you're going to have basketball on Sunday night. And cut in with baseball real quick. They are locking in, too, on the Sunday night baseball on Peacock as well. So they're going to have Sunday nights for all the sports. Fantastic. Right? So you're going to have, once the NBA is over, they're going to have baseball and all that. It's going to be fantastic there as well. We still don't know about the baseball yet. We're still waiting on that for the official announcement there. But that story came around. I put that. You could definitely check out our Twitter page, Facebook page for that. NBA All-Star Weekend, TNT had that. So they're going to have that. They're going to stream 30 playoff games as well, Western Conference Finals as well. Amazon Prime. First time Amazon's going to have the NBA. They're going to have an opening week doubleheader. They're going to have the games on Black Friday. So that's new. I didn't know. So definitely, too, they're going to have doubleheader on Black Friday. They're going to have the NBA Emirates Cup for safety, NBA Emirates Cup in the play-in tournament. Used to be on TNT. Now you're going to see it on Amazon. So they're going to have that. So they're going to have games. So you're going to have double headers on there as well, on Amazon as well. So you're going to have that. I think they're going to have games on Thursday. I think that's what they're going to have on Amazon. So the package that Turner had for so long, they've kind of split it in half. Amazon gets the smaller half. NBC, you get the bigger half as well. I don't know. They're kind of being coy about the Mike who's going to be there. To me, it looks like, what I can see, Mike Tirico, voice of Sunday Night Football, back on the NBA, is going to be there. And Reggie Miller is going to be working for him, for who had become the number one voice at Turner, is now going to be working with them. It looks like it's going to be Tirico. All the information is we're going to switch it around. I don't think. Eventually, they're going to do that. I think this is the way it's going to look. Tirico and Miller on the Western Conference Finals. Noah Eagle and Jamal Crawford as well in the play-by-play roles there as well. Amazon lead announced team. Again, kind of the same. Putting this together, I'm thinking the lead group is going to be Ian Eagle and Stan Van Gundy. Again, he was at Turner last year. Ian Eagle's been doing games for years with Turner, CBS as well, basketball. First season basketball announcer. Kevin Harlan was the number one at play-by-play announcer ever since at Turner, ever since Marv Albert retired. Going to be working with Bones. Brent Berry is the number 1 and number 2. That's the way it looks to me. I'm not sure that this is number 1 and number 2, but this is kind of the way it looks to me here as well. You're also, too, on NBC, you're going to have Michael Jordan, the great one. Yes, that Michael Jordan. It's going to be games as well, going to be doing games for NBC, special contributor. I don't think he's going to be at games. They're probably just going to let him sit on his couch and talk about things as well. So you're going to have him there. You're going to for sure have Maria Taylor as well. It's going to be different, NBC, because they're not going to be – you're going to have games midweek. So NBC – now, they're not going to have scripted TV on Tuesday night. You're going to watch the NBA on NBC every Tuesday night when the season starts. They're going to have that all the way up until the conference finals as well. So there's going to be different. They're going to have games on Monday on Peacock, Amazon. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's going on there. So I do hear some of the people, though, when you say, well, we got to get this streaming service and that streaming service and da-da-da-da-da. I understand that. So, again, I just wanted to point out where the games are as well. So, most of the national contract now is ESPN, Amazon, and ESPN, Amazon, and Peacock, NBC. So definitely check that out as well. We can't wait for the NBS. I didn't want to go over that before football season and get that out the way. And again, one more time, mention Sunday Night Baseball could be moving to NBC. That has been out there as well. I had that on the Twitter page yesterday as well. So definitely check that out. Apple may be out of the Friday night games. Looks like they're going to get the Friday night package as well. Netflix could get the Home Run Derby. That makes perfect sense to me. It's something that they like those one events. So that's a big one event where everybody would like the Home Run Derby. That makes a lot of sense. This is all kind of treading water until I believe 3 years, 2029, when the package comes up, the Fox package is over, and then they're really going to get money for it. So that's when you're going to see an 11, 10-year deal with some of the streaming services and all that as well. So definitely check that out there as well. All right. So let's go ahead and go over here as we get towards the end of the summer, baseball summer. We have 2 more of these. This is our last minor league team that we're going over as well. So next week, we're going to talk about the last thing in baseball summer, the end of the summer, the Little League World Series next week, championship. We're definitely going to go ahead and talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Southern Maryland. I got it right. Last year I had on the graphic South Maryland, even though I know it's the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. So nothing in Baltimore, being like I grew up in Baltimore like this, there's nothing like your Baltimorean if you know what blue crabs are. Not just crabs. That proves you're from Maryland, because that's what we do. We have blue crabs on the South in the Chesapeake Bay. So let's check it out here. The Blue Crabs. Stan Kilborn has been there a long time. Courtney Mitchell is the GM. I think she's been the GM, 17 years. So she's been there a long time running the team. They have seasons in 2 halves. So it is 50-49 for them. 50-49 is their record for the half season. So that is the way they looked. Better record in the first half than they did in the second half. So as well, this is now a team without a major league affiliation, independent league, playing in the same league as the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. All right. So this is true fan. These are players that are playing strictly for the love of the game. Look at the ages of these guys. So we talked about some of those young players. We talked about some of these prospects. D'Angelo Diazzi, 41 years old. He's their oldest player. He's actually having a pretty good season, not in the top 5. But Andrew Thurman, he's 33 years old. And Pierce Howard played at the University of New Orleans. So these guys are past their prime or in their prime, as well as players, as athletes, and they're playing here in minor league baseball. Brent Barra is having a good season for them. I think played in the Yankees organization, 6 home runs, 57 RBIs, 321 average. Jackson Lofton as well. He's been playing he's been moving around a lot. I don't think he has one particular position. He's been in the outfield some, etc. 11 home runs, 45 RBIs. One of the league leaders in stolen bases with 59 RBIs. I hear it getting through it. Ethan Wilson, 25 years old, played a lot of right field. He's their big power hitter, 13 home runs, 62 RBIs, 254. I think of all these guys, I think he's the one that'll be back in a major league organization as well. I keep rubbing my eye here. Gio Giacomo, 25 years old, 15 home runs. They've had good players this season. So you look at Hagerstown, has really struggled, fired the manager. They've had some players. They had some good success in the set first half. Some of these guys are doing well, 291, 26 RBI, 26 stolen bases. which is really, really good. Jalen Miller, pitching not quite as good. You do see that in these independent leagues. Pitching is not nearly as good. So Jalen Miller has been their best, 8-4, 3.47 ERA, 70 Ks as well. Sean Stemple, 29 years old, 6-6, 380, 90 Ks, leading their team in strikeouts as well. So I do think this is I do think here it's really cool because these guys are just playing. I think in most cases, the best a lot of these guys are going to hope for is just, maybe catch on somewhere as a manager. I don't think there's almost no chance of some of these guys catch back on in the minor league. You never know. There are stories of that, like even a Rich Hill. There was a guy that played in the independent leagues, whatever. He's back in the majors. He's, you never know. But they're hanging on, playing for the love of the game. So it's very impressive as well. I think, too, and let me share the screen here. So I'm going to share my screen here. Thank you for your management. Appreciate your cooperation. Shout out Channel 9.
You got to have that with you at all times. This is my personal stash. Listen, we're going to talk to some of the folks over here. We've got a friendly wager, a competition going on with these folks who have come out here. What is the challenge that you've presented to your friend this evening?
See how many wings he can eat, max wings. We're doing Jeopardy-style rules.
Okay. How is he doing?
He's doing really good.
Eating blue crabs at a Blue Crabs game.
31 or 32.
32? You feeling okay? You feeling invincible?
Feeling great. Could definitely double this number.
All right. What do y'all think about this promotion, about the game, about the Blue Crabs?
It's good. Yeah, great game, great food. It's we weren't sure what we were going to get into, and
we had a blackout season in 2020, and we hosted.
That's the GM, Courtney Fisher.
Right? It was a little shorter. There wasn't as.
That is a nice looking stadium as well. I think, like, for a minor league facility, some of these minor league facilities, I think some people kind of sleep on how good it is. If you've ever been, I know some of you live in Baltimore, especially that have never been to a Keys game or a Blue Crabs game or something like that. I know, like, going to games at Oriole Park, you go to these minor league stadiums and, like, you'll be shocked how solid some of these facilities are, how good some of these facilities are when you actually take a look at them. So definitely check it out, eating blue crabs at the Blue Crabs game. So definitely check that out. Having a decent enough season, too, I think, like that, compared to – they've been better than the boxcars have been the last 2 years. So definitely check that out as well. And let's talk, last but not least, your Baltimore Orioles. They've been fun to watch. I can tell you this, obvious reasons this week, but it has been much better this week watching the Orioles. They've obviously played better. They had a rare Wednesday off tonight, so that's why I was able to start it. So it's definitely been a pleasure watching the Orioles this year in these last week or so compared to the way it's been recently. So definitely shout out to getting that. Got some bad news today, so we're going to cover a lot of that in Orioles Report. Saturday, Orioles announced the long-awaited Dylan Beavers is now on the Orioles. So definitely in a corresponding move, Greg Allen, who was signed from the Yankees, has been DFA'd as well. That's designated for assignment. I got to save space there with characters. The Orioles do reach out. Mike Eflin would absolutely be reply when he's asking if he can see himself in Baltimore in 2026. Zach Eflin is out for the season as well. Going into free agency, we're going to go over free agency once we start our offseason coverage. First video is going to be the perfect offseason, what's going to happen in the offseason, and we're going to go on and on all the way through the offseason free agency as well. I don't know if they bring Eflin back. I don't know what his price tag is going to be. I think him getting injured is – you never know with pitchers. I think that the obvious thought is it'll decrease his value, which will make him more make it the Orioles easier for him to sign because other teams. I kind of think he has enough of a track record where he may get a decent offer if he actually is healthy to go. I think that's possible, but we'll see how that goes. But he says he's open to coming back. A lot of guys say that before free agency, etc. Designated Greg Allen, we talked about that. Dylan Beavers and Norfolk as well. Called up the next day, Sam Basayo from Norfolk as well. Reinstated Colton Cowser from the 7-day injury list option. Daniel Johnson, Ryan Noda, and transferred Zach Eflin to the 60-day DL. So he's here. We've been waiting all season long. Sam Basayo is finally he's the number 8 prospect by MLB.com. He's finally in the Orioles uniform like we have all been waiting for. Basayo is in an Orioles uniform finally, and we got Basayo here. Colton Cowser, I think, is back. Had some injuries as well. It's good to see him all go. Has been playing in center, which is good. Johnson and Noah, it's clear they were just killing time to get the service time for those guys. Why are they coming up now? I'm not going to go past the service time thing. So service time, if they go in the last 45 days of the season, Dylan Beavers and Sam Basayo will get rookie status for 2026 season. Why does that matter? So they want them to have rookie status in the 2026 season so you can get an extra draft pick if they go ahead and win Rookie of the Year. Both of these guys, Dylan Beavers this week, was their top 100 prospect in the ESPN rankings. So that allows the Orioles to get more compensation as well. So all of that holding them out was for these reasons, to make the 2026 team stronger in the 2027, etc. Now they're here. We can stop worrying about that. And they have been terrific as well. Maverick Hanley has been reinstated with a 10-day DL. He's been in Norfolk as well. Albert Suarez on Monday was sent to rehab Simon in Norfolk Tides. Pretty sure we're going to see Suarez before the end of the season. I think some of the guys we've been missing may make up the bullpen next year at the start. Looking at it, Suarez, etc. A lot of these guys aren't going to be here as well. Bad news: Felix Bautista has undergone surgery to repair a torn rotator cuff on his race over. He is expected to miss 12 months. So, man, second time in 3 years now he's had surgery where he's not going to miss time. And I'm interested to see what they do with his contract. His contract is up after next season. May have pitched his last game. This is 2 times he didn't even finish. They held him out 16 months with Tommy John. He comes back. He doesn't even make it through August, and he has to have surgery again. So it's too bad because Felix Bautista, man, was one of the best. Was one of the best heaters I ever saw, man, as far as that goes. So it's too terrible as far as I'm concerned. Felix Bautista as well. Bradish had Tommy John as well. He's nearing the end of his long rehab. He actually did pitch in Norfolk tonight as well. Interesting as well, I saw Kyle Bradish is pitching the first game of a doubleheader. Trey Gibson, who might be the best pitcher in the minor league system, actually pitched there as well. So they both pitched both ends of a doubleheader. He's going to be on the team next week. So he's got one more rehab staff. You're going to see him. I think the thing with Bradish, they just want to get him on the field. They just want to get him on the field. You don't want to go the whole offseason and not know. You want to go ahead and get Bradish on the field in 2026. I think we covered that. Yeah, they're done for the season as well. Orioles have scored 38 runs in the last 6 games. between August 14th and 19th. So I just went over it last week how they only scored 8 runs. With Breevers and Basayo, it's totally different. That's why it's been so much fun to watch because they've been scoring runs. The offense is now not just guys from 1 to 6. They're getting it from all over as well. So shout out to the offense really getting going there. Shout out to Sagano. He's been fantastic all season. I'll put him in the hot category as well. And I usually don't get guys this early, but you got to say Dylan Beavers and Basayo. Hot. You always want to put them there simply because they've had such good minor league seasons. We've been winning so long. They've been fantastic, to say the least, as well. I think like this is going to be so much fun watching these guys. Definitely. And these guys aren't going to get they're getting what they call in baseball the cup of coffee, the little rookie run before they start their rookie season. They're going to play. No question about it, 2026. Somebody put on Twitter, and I agree with them. What's happened to Adley Rushman? Yeah. They're not getting much. He missed it. He got scratched from the game last night. He wasn't the original lineup that I saw, and then they came out later. He wasn't in it with the oblique. He's injured. He should play. Interesting to see tonight. I did put it on Twitter beforehand. They had Bedell Marva all at the top of the batting order. Wima Aloy, Caden Bodine, and Ike Irish. 2 of those guys can catch. Basayo can catch. We'll see what happens in the offseason. Kobe Mayo's kind of been struggling as well. Grant Wolfram hasn't played well at all as well. San Francisco Giants. Giants started out good this season. I think they've kind of come down to earth. I don't think they have a ton of talent as well. And if you want to see Baltimore Orioles, you watch the San Diego Padres. O'Hearn, Leonardo, Machado, etc. So I think the Padres, I think this team might be, with the way the Dodgers have looked, be the team in the National League representing the World Series as well. And Gunnar, again, Gunner's not maybe what we hope for, but Gunnar, he's your best Oriole. He's definitely showed it. Up to hit his 15 home run, solid stuff. Gunnar has been really good. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Remember, Sunday, our Maryland Terps football preview. We're going to talk the Big Ten quarterback competition, true freshman quarterback, Big Ten. See how we do. There's a comment. Rick Arnold, what's up, buddy? I agree, man. Rick Arnold, Mr. Positive, the king of Orioles Twitter. Definitely check out Rick Arnold on Twitter. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Ravori Sports Podcast. You enjoy the rest of your day.